Evil Squid Comics podcast. We are part of the Collector's Maze Network.
Don.
Scott.
Andrew. This is Savage Dragon, the Ultimate Collection, Volume 3.
That's right. So it collects a shit ton of stuff.
Oh, it's got the God issue.
It does have the God issue in there. You guys remember that well, huh?
Yeah, that was very famous. I guess it was kind of like controversial.
Was it?
Yeah.
22 through 35. And it's Savage Dragon, and it's basically after he beat his big nemesis there.
Oh, yeah, Overlord's defeated,
Overlord,
right?
Exactly.
So it's like the power vacuum.
Yep, exactly right. So you got this power vacuum going on, and which means then that all these different other freaks are trying to run the city, and meanwhile, Savage Dragon gets into some trouble with who was this, like Mimic or something? I can't remember.
Fiend, right?
The Fiend, that's it.
But is the Fiend possessing her, or is she actually the Fiend? I always get confused.
Well, I've got the feeling that it's kind of a possession thing. And in fact, throughout this, you end up finding out that the Fiend is really more the guy who killed that girl.
Oh, yeah, you do find that out.
Yeah, so you end up finding... Yeah.
So a little backstory, if you don't know your Savage Dragon history. Savage Dragon had a girlfriend, and she was killed, and this creature possessed her mom, and her mom blamed Savage Dragon for being killed.
Yes, and so the Fiend comes across like it's her mom, but in this particular section of stuff you find out that the Fiend is actually
the guy who shot
her, and I think mixed together.
Yeah, they're like, it's almost like a Venom thing, right? Like there's the Venom symbiote, and then there's Eddie Brock, who also hates Spider-Man.
Right.
I get a very Venom Eddie Brock vibe.
I could understand that. But the Fiend in general is just powerful as hell, and essentially, at some point there gets Savage Dragon drugged to hell. And in hell, he's all having a good time, meets Spawn.
But before that, she breaks all his bones and shows him in like a smokestack.
Yeah.
That's
That's true. And you find
that's a Spider-Man reference too, to clone.
Is it?
Is it? How so? The smokestack?
Yeah, they drop Peter in a smokestack.
They do? I don't remember
sure.
that. Oh, that sounds good. I'll buy it.
Yeah, he gets all crumpled and nasty looking in that thing.
Yeah, and then he heals that way, and then Mighty Man has to break his bones so he can set them all.
So they can set them all back up. Yep.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
No,
we derailed you a little bit.
I'm good. I mean, heck, the more conversation, the better on this.
I remember reading this, how much I did not like Raptor. I still don't like her.
I don't know. Some people really like her, but she's not that fun of a character.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely has her issues there. She is pregnant, though, with Savage Dragon's child. And so you have that whole story there going on. But, Savage Dragon believes that he is, sterile, so he doesn't really believe that could be the case. And so there's that whole little subplot going through there.
That's going to hurt when that was out.
You would think.
I think they end up doing a C-section, don't they?
Yeah, they do a C-section because baby ends up trying to punch its way out.
Yeah, because the baby's got super strength.
Yeah.
Punch right through her gut.
It was just trying
or her
to
womb, to be more anatomically correct.
Too. Yeah, overall, you can definitely tell Kirkman in general would love this because there's a lot of blood, and things going on. A lot of other subplots, throughout. Things that will start and then be revisited later. I get the feel through this because of the fact that it's still early Image days that, they were still trying to find their way with the whole company and their whole universe in general. There's a lot of crossovers. Yeah. There's a lot of bits, I think, where different artists, are taking their play at Savage Dragon, and he's probably taking different plays at others. Because I feel like McFarlane did some of the art part or something with Spawn, but maybe not.
No, I think he did all of it. Yeah.
Did he do it all? Okay. He
used a lot of other people's character. Because doesn't he have a lot of it? Is this where he has a whole run of crossovers?
I felt like it.
He's got a Hellboy issue and a Max.
Hellboy is in here. You're right.
I think there is a Spawn. Is there a Spawn?
Oh, there's definitely the Spawn because that's when he goes down there to hell.
Yeah,
so there's a.
Oh, there's Wildstar too, right? Wildstar.
Yeah, but I don't even know who the fuck that one was.
That's fair.
So,
Jerry Ordway and
he does not going to know who Jerry Ordway is.
I know. Okay. I can't remember who the other guy. It was a 4-issue miniseries at the Image.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
I do feel like there was a lot of crossover type stuff going on here, and because of that, I feel for me personally, while it's cool and all, it just makes it feel kind of dated. It makes it feel, to me, like, oh yeah, these are the guys trying to establish their stuff and, do these forced crossovers in a different way to try to publicize and, mix and match things in there. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like it really added to the overall narrative that Larson was really after,
I would say that I think Eric Larson just did it because he thought it was fun, not because he was like trying to like cash in or promote something.
Oh,
I think so. That. But I agree with you that I think it makes it all feel kind of disjointed.
There you go. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
It doesn't flow very well.
No, it flows like crap.
It feels kind of clunky.
Yes.
Trying to force all this people in there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean the Spawn one almost works the best just because of the fact that
they go
he
down
is
to
going
hell,
to hell and he wants to have this whole fight with God and things like that anyway. But even then, it gets rather forced because every time they do one of these crossovers, they have to introduce this other character. I mean, there's a whole freaking, I think, page or two of what the hell Spawn is and what he was doing and, what the hell was his backstory a little bit, where it's a bunch of freaking words, and crap to read. I'm like,
I don't
Jesus
need that.
Christ, I don't need that.
Todd McFarlane does enough of that in his book.
Words but I do have to say the whole God type things here, God fighting the devil was like some of Larson's best art, I think, in this thing.
Yeah, man, it was God and the devil fighting.
Oh, hell yeah. It was just extremely well done, I thought. So, but boom. So
I was a little lost with some of the like creator stuff. Like I know he's riffing on like John Byrne. Remember that part? And like She-Dragon was created by like Johnny Redbeard and all that stuff. And,
I'm sure that all went over my
head. Some of it went over my head too. So Scott doesn't read current Savage Dragon, right? Like you're not all caught up on issue 275.
Oh, good God, no.
Okay, so anyway, so the baby, that's Malcolm.
Okay.
Eventually comes like because he does survive. Like they tell her the baby died.
They tell her the baby dies, and then this Yahoo takes him and and now is putting him in some type of other vat of something. I don't know.
Anyway, like issue 200, Malcolm actually took over the book.
That issue 200, huh?
Yeah, that like now the book is really called Savage Dragon, but it's really about Malcolm and his life, and not even about Dragon,
our
main dragon. Yeah. So.
Well, I think they kill him, don't they? Finally, or something?
Ooh, technically, no. They depower him, I think.
Okay.
And I'm confused on the continuity at this point because now there's another dragon from a different continuity as well.
Really?
Yeah, that's in the book, but I don't think we see much of the original dragon.
Which that could even be, the baby could even be a play on Spider-Man because didn't Mary Jane had like a baby in Spider-Man.
Maybe it got cloned or something.
No, they told her it died and they kidnapped it.
Really?
Nothing's ever happened.
I don't think it's a play, but I think it's just, Eric Larson swiping.
You're just swiping?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was a little bored. He goes, I don't know what to do here, so I'm just going to do this.
But yeah. No.
I don't know. It was good, but I felt like there is a lot of, number one, a lot of crossovers throughout this. Number two, there's a shit ton of characters of his own universe that he's throwing out there that I have a hard time even just keeping up with. I feel like Dragon himself is not actually in this stuff very much, except for just these little flashes here and there. And so it is a bit of a struggle for me to even build up, I guess, a lot of like for Dragon when he's hardly ever in the damn thing, except for when he shows up, he just goes and slugs some crap here and there, and it's like, hey, all right.
It eventually slows down a little bit. It's funny, Eric Larson has said a number of times, like, it's easier for him just to create a new character than try and remember an old character. And
I can see that.
Do it. So he just creates new characters.
Yeah, because he has freaking characters all over the place, so he probably can't even remember what the hell he did.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a bit confusing, but all right.
This felt more disjointed than the first two.
I would definitely agree.
Yeah. But I think it gets better after this. Like, this is kind of where he's sort of thrown everything, and then I think after this it starts to get a little more grounded.
Okay.
To be, I mean, not really grounded, but less disjointed. I think he starts to get into a better flow. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't. It's just, Savage Dragon is just stupid fun to me. It's just like comic books and action, like it does get very confusing later on. Like I don't know what the hell's going on.
At some point you don't even care, right?
Yeah,
you just go with the flow and you're like, it's okay if
like,
I don't quite remember everything.
Yeah, there's like different universes and different like you guys all said, but yeah, I can't explain the continuity of Savage Dragon, and I bet Eric Larson couldn't really
No, he's tried a couple times.
The continuity of Savage Dragon.
Well, I think he got so confused. That's why he did that whole merging of everything. Right. He did kind of like his own Crisis on Infinite Earth, where he merged it all the timelines together.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But I mean, Savage Dragon is just fun. It's just turn your mind off, read the book, enjoy the splash pages, the action, the fighting, the Eric Larson art. I mean, that's what
it is.
There is substance to it, but like there is substance to it, but I don't really care about it. Like after 150, 200 issues, when I didn't understand who this dragon was or whatever, it's like, all right, just have fun.
Yeah.
I thought it would be fun to go back and reread these, but they're only coming out like it's a year, so I mean, it's like, or every 9 months or 6. I don't know.
Not
it's
super
like,
frequent.
You're not going to be able to keep this stuff straight. At least I'm not going to be able to keep this stuff straight in my head.
No, but since you've already read it before, hopefully it starts to kind of...
Well, yeah, I mean...
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It does get... And I think, like I said, I think he's still finding his footing here. I think it starts to kind of hit its stride later on, too.
Yeah.
A little bit more. But
yeah.
I can't wait till 75. That's what I love. I love the Savage World, run. Okay, we'll get there. Okay. Anyway.
We'll get there. There we go.
There you go.